Hello everyone, let's solve math max exam 2013 a question 2. Okay, so an integral question, calculus. I hope you know the basic derivation technique for polynomials, so we're probably going just to need this. So suppose that f of x is a multiplied by x plus b satisfies three conditions. So f of x satisfies these three conditions: that the integral of f of x from 0 to 2 is equal to 2, and the integral of f of x squared from 0 to 2 is equal to 4, and f of 0 is equal to 0. So determine f of x. So basically what he's telling you, what are the values of a is equal to what and b is equal to what. Okay, so this is what he's asking you. So the first thing you need to notice is I'm going to first talk about the third condition. F of 0 is bigger than 0. So why am I going to talk about this first? So a of x plus b is f of x, right? So when f of 0, we are talking about 0, so x is going to be 0, right? So what's happening? A multiplied by 0 plus b must be bigger than 0. Okay, so a multiplied by 0 is 0. So our first condition is that b must be bigger than 0. Okay, so let's just put it in a box because we are going to use this later. And why are we going to use it? Well, let's see. One sec. So the second is the integral. So let's use the second condition. So the integral from 0 to 2 of f of x. F of x is ax plus b dx is equal to 2. So let's integrate. Now, when you are integrating this, you can say that 0 to 2 of f of x dx plus from 0 to 2 b dx is equal to 2. Okay, we can separate them. Okay, so the integral of a of x is a multiplied by x squared divided by 2 from 0 to 2. Okay, plus b, the integral of b, well, b is a number, so x from 0 to 2 is equal to 2. Now we are lucky, or was it planned in the question, that we have it 0 here, so it is much easier. Okay, so 2 is x. When 2 squared is equal to 4, divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so 2a plus 2b is equal to 2. So dividing everything by 2, so we'll have that a plus b is equal to 1. I was going to write 2, sorry. So now look, you can say two things over here. You can say that a is equal to 1 minus b, or you can say that b is equal to 1 minus a. Which one are we going to use? Now notice, this is important, because this is when you are thinking ahead while you are answering the question. Look, the first condition that I found was that b is bigger than 0, and I started playing with the first integral. Now the next step is, probably, even if you didn't answer the question, if you weren't capable of solving by yourself, then I used the first condition and the third. Now the next condition that I'm going to use is the second integral, which is going to give me something similar to this part over here, right? It's going to give me a and b's. Now look, the second condition is squared, so it's probably going to give you two answers. I think it's easier. This was important for me to say, but it will make more sense, even more sense later. Let's just note over here that a is equal to 1 minus b. Okay, both the conditions are right. Okay, so 1 minus b. So even if you said that b is equal to 1 minus a, You can leave them both over here, okay? So actually, let me just yeah, this is very cool. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm starting to learn how to do this over here. Okay, so the second step, what was it? Well, from 0 to 2 of f of x squared, right? F of x is a of x plus b squared of dx is equal to 4. This condition over here. The second one, the middle one, okay? From 0 to 2. Okay, so let's solve this. Okay, from 0 to 2, a of x plus b squared will be a squared x squared plus 2a bx plus b squared dx is equal to 4. Okay, so now let's integrate this. So a squared multiplied by x cubed divided by 3 from 0 to 2 plus 2ab x squared divided by 2 from 0 to 2 plus bx from 0 to 2 is equal to 4. I just integrated this. A squared multiplied by x squared, the integral of this will be x cubed divided by 3, right? The integral of a polynomial. This over here would be x squared divided by 2 from 0 to 2. And b squared, I was already forgetting. There is a squared over here. This is why it's good to review it, right? So b squared and b squared, the integral of b squared will be x, okay, from 0 to 2. So, and lucky again that it is zeros, so we can just put the 2's. So over here, 2 cubed, so 8 multiplied by a squared divided by 3 plus 2 cuts with 2, so we will have that this 2 over here goes in the x place and it is squared, right? So 4ab plus b squared multiplied by 2, right? So b squared multiplied by 2, 2b squared is equal to 4. Now let's multiply everything by 3 just so that we can get rid of this 3 down here. So a squared plus 12ab plus 6b squared. Don't forget to multiply the 4 too, okay? So equals 12. Now comes in the thing that I was telling you. Now we have this equation over here. Yeah, this wasn't a good idea. Maybe green. Yeah, green is better. So we have this equation over here. So now, and we have the other equation, right? A is equal to 1 minus b. Now here comes why I chose that a is equal to 1 minus b. If we had chosen the b1, if you choose like that b is equal to 1 minus a, which it is, and you plug it in here, this is a quadratic function. You will find two solutions for a, but you won't know which one of them are correct. Maybe later when you compare it with b, okay? But it is easier when you use a is equal to 1 minus b, just to train a bit thinking ahead. So in place of a, I'm going to put these values over here, okay? A is equal to 1 minus b. So 8 multiplied by 1 minus b squared plus 12 multiplied by 1 minus b multiplied by b. This is just this, okay? So plus 6b squared is equal to 12. So 8 multiplied by 1 minus 2b, just taking this part squared, plus b squared, plus now 12 I'm going to multiply this and this in this parenthesis, okay? So 12b multiplied by 1 is 12b, minus 12b multiplied by b is 12b squared, plus 6b squared is equal to 12. Okay, so let's multiply this parenthesis. Okay, so 8 minus 16b plus 8b squared plus 12b. Now minus 12b squared plus 6b squared minus 6b squared is equal to 12. Minus 6b squared plus 8b squared is equal to what? 2b squared. This went out. 12b minus 16b is minus 4b, right? Minus 4b. 8 minus 12 is minus 4. So it's equal to 0. Now let's divide everything by 2. So we'll have that b squared minus 2b minus 2 is equal to 0. You see, we are going to find two answers over here. 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus, now 2 multiplied by 4 is 8, and it is plus over here, divide by 2, right? I just used the formula minus b plus or minus, also divide by 2a. Okay, a is 1 and delta is this part over here. Okay, so nothing special. So let's find the solutions for b. 2 plus or minus 8 plus 4 is 12, divide by 2. Now 2 plus or minus 12 is what? Is 4 multiplied by 3, divided by 2. So we'll have the 2 plus or minus the 4, we can take the square root of it. So 2 square root of 3 divided by 2. So we'll have two answers. B1 is equal to, let's divide these twos, okay? So it will be 1 plus square root of 3, and B2 is going to be 1 minus square root of 3. Which one are you going to choose? Well, this one. Why? Because b is bigger than 0. Okay, so for the value of a is equal to 1 minus b, right? So let's find a. Well, a is equal to 1 minus, what was b? 1 plus the square root of 3. 1 plus square root of 3. Okay, so a is equal to 1 minus square root of 3. So a is equal to minus square root of 3. Okay, so our f of x is equal to minus square root of 3 minus square root of 3x, because this is a, plus the b value, plus 1 plus square root of 3. So this is our value. Okay, so this is our first answer, the answer for question 1.1. Now I ensure you the value for 1.2 is it's going to be easier to find. Okay, so he's telling you that set g of x is equal to f of x plus c, where c varies. Find the minimum of the integral. Okay, so this miracle. So g of x is equal to f of x plus c. and his objective, if I remember right, from 0 to 2, g of x squared dx. He wants the minimum of this, right? Yes, the minimum of the integral. Okay, so as we did in f of x, when we had f of x, we said that f of x is ax plus b. Let's do the same over here for g of x, right? So from 0 to 2, from 0 to 2, g of x is what? It is f of x plus c, but g of x squared, right? So f of x plus c dx. So from 0 to 2 of f of x squared plus 2c 2c multiplied by f of x. I should call f of x probably another variable, okay? But let's continue. X, and all this multiplied by is d of x. So I'm sorry for whispering. So from 0 to 2, f of x squared plus 2c from 0 to 2 f of x. We can take this part in outside of from the integral because they are numbers, they are constant. Even though c might it varies, but it doesn't vary in condition with specifically x, okay? So plus dx over here and dx over here, okay? C 0 to 2 dx. Okay, so let's integrate. Now look, this is the first condition. The integral of f of x is the second condition. Yes, the second condition. F of x squared from 0 to 2 is 4 plus 2c multiplied by f of x from 0 to 2, the integral of this is 2 plus c multiplied by, now f of x dx over here, right? Dx, so the integral of this is going to be x, and x varies from 0 to 2, so it's going to be 2, okay? So our answer is going to be 4 plus 4c. Here, this c over here is squared, right? So this is squared. Yeah, this is squared over here. I forgot. Like the square root of the first two multiplied by the first versus the second plus the square root of the second, okay? So plus 2c squared. Okay. So this is, I'm going to call this h of c, okay? H of c. Why h of c? H of c is the integral of g of x, okay? G of x squared. So 2c squared plus 4c plus 4. Now what is he asking us? Remember, this was just we integrating, wow, g of x squared, okay? So now forget everything we did. Don't forget it, like, really, but now it's like we have a new question. We have this equation over here and we want to know its minimum. How can we find the minimum? Well, derive it, right? The derivative of h of c comma is equal to what? My pen is stop. 4c plus 4, right? And when we want to find maximum and minimums, well, you can even solve this without the derivative, right? Because it's a second degree. And just 1 second, let me end here. So c is going to be minus 1, right? we can say that the first integral for c plus 4 is equal to 0, so c is equal to -1. Now over here in this one, okay, what do? We put the value of c that we found. Okay, so the value of c was -1, so 2 multiplied by -1 and squared is 2, -1 squared is 1, 4 multiplied by -1 is -4 plus 4, so the value is 2. Okay, what was I talking about without calculus? Well, you know that this function over here is a parabola, and a smiling parabola, right? Because the 2 is positive, so it is like this. So it is a minimum point. Okay, even though the parabola is smiling, the point of the vertex is minimum, so you can find the minimum point. So the vertex minus b divided by 2a, right? So the vertex would be -4 divided by 2 multiplied by a, which is 2, 4. So -1. See, the same as the vertex with the derivative. Or you can do like the formula straightforward. So you can do that minus delta divided by 4a, if I remember correctly. I never use this. I always end up finding the x and then putting the value. But let's try this. Minus delta. What would be delta? Well, 4 squared, 16. So what minus 16 uh, minus 16. Now 4 and 4 and multiplied by 4, right? 8 multiplied by 4 is 32, minus 32 divided by 4a. A is 2, so 8, and there is a minus over here. Okay, so 32 minus 16 is 16, right? Yeah, 16. So we'll have minus 16 over here, but multiplied by the minus, so it will be 16 divided by 8, which is 2. Okay, so yeah, this is